Morning guys, you got the Bub031 here again, and this is going to be another series on my Debeaujeu build. We're going to be doing the wiring and getting the lights all hooked up. So, I want you all to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, now that we have the intro over, we're going to begin. So, as you can see, I have all my materials here that I'm going to need. I may have to get some more after, but the first one we're going to start on is the hard wiring of all the lights that are on this module portion of Debeaujeu. So there's lights in the building, the 3 lamp posts, and the lights that are in the shelter, the drop shelter. And then we'll probably move on to that portion after. All right, let's begin. All right, so the first thing that we've actually did is with all the lights and that they were on individual wires. So what we're doing right here is we're actually twisting all the positives and the negatives for each light stand together. That way there, when we wire it, it's actually going to be a nice little thing and we're not going to have wires all over the place. So that's what we're doing right now. All I'm doing is just I'm grabbing the wire and I'm just twisting it so that we can actually make it nice and small. This way here, we just dipped it into flux, and then later we just solder it. This was actually very time consuming, and yeah. Okay, so as you can see here, I am now sticking the wires into flux. And now we're going to start soldering. So the only thing I'm really doing right now is I'm going to add solder to the tips, because this way here it's going to be easier to join the hard wiring together. And as you can see, that's what I'm doing. I'm just adding the solder onto my iron and then just going across, up and down onto the wire. Like that. Okay, now we're doing on the other side of this, and now I can show you the actual close-up of what I'm doing. So all I'm doing is just heating it up. After once the solder's all added on, as you can see here, and I'm just gonna add it to both wires, the positive and the negative. Now what we're doing is we've actually bought some just plugs, and we realized that we can actually just use the lights from the just plug system and wire them to the actual street lamps. So that's what we're doing right now. We just made sure that we got the positive and the negative done. And as well, we'll show you after that we actually went out and we bought the module pieces for the Woodland Scenics just plugs. But yeah, we're actually using the wires and extra wires because the plugs are, it's just a quick connect system instead of trying to hardwire it to the board. So we're now just adding some shrink tubing, and yeah, here we are with the so we have the just plugs main bus and the expansion busts. So we're just right now going to screw them down into the frame and hardwire it there, and then we're going to be shortly working after on the other portion of Debeaujeu, which is the other portion. So we now have that screwed on. We started plugging everything in. We were also testing to make sure all the lights work. And now we're just continuing with wiring up all the lights and the plugs. We actually did multiple wiring to one plug because we actually tested, because the resistors actually on the main bus for the just plug, we can actually adjust the volume of power going to it just to give it that dull and not try and burn out the system. So we're right now doing a few more wires here, as you can see, adding about, we did 2 or 3, and we're just going to add it to the one plug. like so. So here's a close-up of what we're doing right now. So I'm getting the solder ready. We're just cleaning up and tightening up the wiring before we actually use the solder. I'm adding more flux, and then we're going to join the wires together. But yeah, this is what the finished product looks like on one half of the module. And I actually boxed them up later and actually put the lights on at night, and it looks pretty good in the dark. And yeah, I think it came out pretty good. So we're just going to finish up here because, as you can see, we're at the layout. I think I did a pretty good job here. So as you can see, everyone, Debeaujeu is now completely set up. The lights are all working and everything. That took a little bit. And this is how it's going to look like populated. Don't worry, the series is still not done yet. I still have more to do with this module. But other than that, that's going to be it, everyone, for this episode of Debeaujeu. I want you to all thanks for watching. And as always, make sure the signal's green and keep moving down the line.